welcome. If you have been looking for a new show to obsess over, you did it. You found me. One time for you. Okay, we have a great show for you today. We've got Taylor, we've got farting, we've got exorcism, we've got buttholes, okay? My name is Tefi. I don't think I've ever said that. My name is Tefi. I am your host. This is a pop culture show, meaning we talk shit about celebrities, and I somehow make it about myself. And Tefi, why pop culture? Why would you talk about celebrities? Find something else to do. No. So there's no business like business isn't mine. Guys, it's official. I'm losing it. Winter is getting to me. Winter is starting to like really sink its teeth into me, and I'm getting to my mean tipping point, my perma PMS, I call it. And I am just becoming... Do you ever feel like you're in a relationship sometimes? You're like, I gotta break it off because I don't like who I am with this person. I don't like who I am in the winter because she's mean, okay? And like, I'm like, why is it cold? Jesus, why is it cold? Like, why as humans, the natives and the pilgrims, you know, like, why as humans did we insist on living in places where the earth literally dies for 6 months every year? It is literally uninhabitable, you know? And it's just, it feels unnatural. And, you know, like, I live in a city, you know? Okay, I live in Brooklyn. But I work in a city where, like, it's almost, like, impossible to be a normal, compassionate person. Like, every time I leave the house, I'm like, oh, I hope you don't die or get shit on today. Literally shit on today, you know? And it's already hard to be like a normal person, you know? And especially on those bad days where New York City's like, hey, remember how you had a good day yesterday? And I'm like, yeah, New York. And it's like, hey, what's up? I fucking hate you. Also, rent is due tomorrow, you dumb bitch. Like, especially on those days. And then your skin literally like rejects the weather when your skin hurts from being outside, when your chin won't pronounce words because you are just outside. You know, like the Bears got it right. The Bears, you know, they eat berries and leaves. They plug up their little butthole. That's not where we're talking about buttholes. But they plug up their little buttholes and they sleep for 6 months and they never know a chill. You know? And it's like during the holidays, it's cute, like when it's cold, right? Like it's like romantic, you know? Like you can romanticize the winter. Like New York City during the holidays is like Disney wishes, you know? Like it's picturesque, so cute. But then like January 2nd, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, let's go back to our regular programming. And the earth is like, huh? And I'm like, I said I'm done now. Like the winter's done. Like, let's go back. And it's like, huh? I can't hear you. I'll see you in May. And you're like, nah, like, absolutely not. And like every winter, I cannot believe that there are people in the world that have winter every year. You know, the heartbreaking stories of children in places other than Miami that would go out for Halloweeny and have to wear a coat over their Spider-Man costume. Or poor Michelle Perducci, who all she wanted to do was be a princess. And she had to wear a turtleneck. Because let me tell you something. You can say whatever you want about Miami, but if I wanted the belly out for Christmas, the belly out was for Christmas. But if you wanted belly out for Halloweeny, belly was out. We're talking crop top. If I wanted the armsies out for Halloweeny, guess what? They were out, just living, you know? But not Michelle. No. You know, and yes, I can hear you saying, Tefi, but nobody told you to leave Miami. I fucking know. But have you met some of the people down there? You know? So, and also, it was 40 degrees in Miami yesterday, and my mom calls me. Mind you, when I went to school in Miami, schools would be canceled for 40-degree weather, okay? My mom calls me yesterday, and she's like, it's 40 degrees in Miami. This is fucking crazy. Iguanas are falling from the sky. And Molly goes, yeah, it's so cold that my parents turned on their fireplace. Molly's parents that live in Miami for years not only turned on the fireplace, but they own a fireplace in Miami. That phrase alone is so chaotic. It doesn't make sense, but it is what it is, you know? And hold on one second. The prompter just, thank you, Michelle. Okay. It's because we brought up the turtleneck trauma. It did. And you just like, whatever. So when I first moved to New York, whatever, my mom lived here before and I've seen snow like 4 times. And I remember I moved here and I was like, that's it, I'm gonna do it, I'm moving. I packed all my clothes. I moved to Connecticut I have family in Connecticut. And I was living with them and I remember, like, this is how unprepared I am for winter. That I remember I was unpacking and I remember I was like, okay, I got my skirts. I got my little hoochie shorts. I got my Sophies, if you know, you know. You know, I got my tights and I brought my one jean and my one cardigan. And Mom was like, are you gonna get a coat? And I was like, no, I don't want people to see me in a coat. And she was like, I think you should go to coat. And I'm like, where should I go? And she's like, go to Macy's. I'm like, you think I should go to Macy's? Absolutely not. What am I? A 10th grader going to homecoming? Absolutely not. I'm not going to Macy's, whatever. I didn't own a coat. And then I got to the point, obviously, where like I had to buy a coat or I was going to die from hypothermia like Jack in the water, okay? I was going to die. And actually I moved here the same year that there was like a, what was it called? Like a polar vortex express. And I remember like I bought a coat and I felt so fucking weird that I was on the subway and I saw my friend Lindley and she was on the subway and she was like on the other side of the subway, right? And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna say hi to her. And I went to go see Molly afterwards, Molly Ready to Produce, right? And I saw her afterwards and I was like, I saw Lindley on the subway today. She goes, did you say hi? And I'm like, no. She's like, why? I'm like, because I was wearing a coat. She's like, I get it. I get it. It's weird. I'm like, it's super weird. I have to protect my skin from the elements. It's weird, you know? And I also did not pack, I'm so sorry, Mom. When I moved to New York, I didn't pack one underwear. Not a one underwear. My mom had to FedEx Express me an underwear, okay? And now I wear 2 underwear, tights, long johns, and thermals, so my little toto, that's what Cubans call a vagina, so my little toto doesn't fall on the sidewalk and shatter like glass, okay? And I guess I'm just feeling extra today about the weather because I did something that I've never done, but I'm super proud of myself for. I'm super brave that I walked out of my house without my headphones on. Oh my God. Just exposed to the world and other people's stupid conversations, you know, and it was just terrible. I couldn't listen to my morning song. What is it? The Men in Black by Will Smith. You know, but something that always makes me feel better. If you are also going through this like, what the fuck, it's winter still phase, this is something I do to make myself feel better, okay? When I'm feeling extra down about how cold it is and how my nail beds hurt from just being outdoors, I like to look at my weather app and look at New York's weather, and then I look at Minneapolis, and I think, bitch, it could be worse. Could be fucking worse. Sorry, y'all. Guys, okay, so let's jump into the show. Before we do, I got a super, super cute message from Yas Carter's husband. He told me that it was your birthday and you love watching the show, so I want to say happy birthday to you, Yas. Okay? 1 time for the birthday, bitch. 2 time for the birthday, bitch. 3 time for the show break. See you soon. Hey, y'all. So Taylor Swift opens up about her struggles, right? So you may have already heard that there's a Netflix documentary about Taylor Swift. It's called Miss Americana, and it premiered at Sundance yesterday. And if you too are a plebe that does not attend Sundance, like myself, it's gonna air for the public, for us peasants, on the 31st of January, okay? So here's a clip from the trailer.
Throughout my whole career, label executives would just say, a nice girl doesn't force their opinions on people. A nice girl girl, smiles and waves and says thank you. I became the person everyone wanted me to be.
You know what? Okay, before I even get into this, the way that it pisses me off thinking about men who have no idea what it's like to be a teenage girl or in the spotlight, very comfortable in their corner offices, telling Taylor Swift to be a nice girl. Let me tell you something. If any man, anybody ever tells you, not just man, anybody ever tells you to stop and be a nice girl, what they're telling you to do is to be a quiet girl. So that's one. That's already pissed me off, you know? So I want to say that when I read this article, she did an exclusive interview with Variety magazine about said documentary, right, Miss Americana. And I want to say that when I read it, it was a little bit, how do you say, trigger warning for moi. And not because I'm a pop star under the thumb of Scooty Brown, right? It just because it turns out that women have like 3 universal struggles, I feel, you know? That's wanting to be heard, wanting to be respected, and wanting to be liked, right? And those 3 things, being heard, being respected, and being liked, don't fare so well in a professional space. You know what I mean? And in the documentary, there is a moment where she talks about seeing photos of herself and how this has affected her relationship with food, you know? And she elaborates more. And the way that she describes this relationship, I think, is best explained with this quote, right? My relationship with food was exactly the same psychology that I applied to everything else in my life. I was given a pat in the head, I registered that as good. I was given a punishment, and I registered that as bad, you know? And okay, so I want to say too, that's super hard to hear, because it's not like when you have a bad relationship with food, it's not like you have a bad relationship with alcohol, you know? You can just not go to the bar. But as a person, as a human being, you have to eat. You know what I mean? So it's something that people deal with at least 3 times a day. So it's super difficult, and especially dealing with that in the limelight, you know? For example, when she was 18, she was on the cover of, she said that she was on the cover of magazine for the first time, and it wasn't for what you thought. It was because she was wearing something where her belly, her stomach, didn't look super flat, and people speculated she was pregnant. And that just like breaks my fucking heart, because hello, like we're us normies, like we just, if we don't like a photo, we can untag ourselves on Facebook. But like, you know, to go to your local CVS and having people think that you're pregnant because you like what the fuck, I just ate tacos. You know, like people don't eat tacos. You know, people don't fucking eat food. You don't have like I call it digest rest after Thanksgiving when you want to go to sleep. I started that, spread that around. Digest rest. People are like the itis. I'm like, my digest rest sounds so good. Okay? Or like, so she also shared about the time that she went to a photo shoot, and the stylist would be like, oh wow, like you fit into these sample size clothing. Like usually we have to go get them altered, but like with you, we can just throw the clothes off the runway onto your body. It fits perfectly. And she took it as like a tap on the head. I just want to give a shout out quickly to my stylist, Martin, because I remember when we first started the show, I was nervous just about we can't hear ourselves, our voicemails. Like seeing yourself on camera can be a little jarring. And I was like, should I lose some weight? And he's like, if you lose a pound, I will whoop your ass. And I was like, okay, thank you. You know, like sometimes you need to hear, you look good the way you are, not versus, stay this way, you look amazing, pat on the head, yeah, you know? And so obviously she took that as a compliment. And so like and when you get a compliment like that, you don't want to lose that compliment, especially when you feel like people don't like you. You're like, but I look good, I don't want to give people one more thing not to like about me, you know? Especially as like a teen girl. So, and I'm not a doctor, you know, but I have struggled with a relationship with food my whole life. I've struggled with eating disorders, and I don't feel any shame about it. I'm not embarrassed about it at all. It's something that I went through and that millions of people, not just women, go through, you know? And I feel like for most of my life, I couldn't control anything in my life. I felt like life was happening to me, and I couldn't control the way people wanted to stay in my life or water relationships with me. I couldn't control puberty just swooping in the middle of the night and changing my body, you know? I couldn't control the kids at school that didn't like me. And I grew up in a place where machismo culture thrives. That's one thing. And I felt like I needed to look a certain way to please the people around me. And I couldn't be the way that I wanted to be without having like immense shame about it. Like I was never the buttoned up, like perfect haired Christian girl like Mandy Moore in that movie where she's that bitch, right? And Macaulay Culkin's in like a wheelchair, Saved. That's exactly what I felt people wanted me to be, you know? And I just wasn't. Like, please, hello. You know, I was never gonna be that person, you know? And in a way of me wanting to control my own narrative, I found power in maybe controlling what came in and out of my body, you know? And I look at Taylor Swift, and she's this huge megastar. She's easily one of the most famous people on the earth, you know? And she has been famous since she was like 14 or 15. And she has probably never felt like she was in control of her own narrative. And she was looking at people to help her with her narrative. And they told her, you know, what's best is if you look this way and you talk this way and that you're nice, you know? And everybody like just telling her what to do and the public scrutiny and like during this time of her life where like you become a woman, I'm not a girl, you know? And listen, if you're younger and you're a teenager and you watch this show, I want you to remember one thing. So when I was a teenager, I remember I had in like the throes of me trying to grasp onto anything in my life that I could have control over, I remember this teacher came up to me and she said, you know, like, if you like your body now, wait till 2 years. Your body's gonna betray you. Let's see you in 2 years. Let's see how small you are. And I remember thinking like, she made my body feel like it was going to turn its back on me, and I had to do everything in my power to ensure that I was still likable physically. You know, maybe I didn't feel very liked in my personal life. I didn't feel liked at school, but people complimented my body, and I need to hold on to this just in case people don't like me. You know what I mean? People don't think I'm smart. And I want to tell you something. Listen, your body is literally designed to love you. Every molecule, every atom in your biology is trained. Its sole purpose is to take care of you. Don't listen to people who talk about their bodies in a way that they have to like harness this foreign, wild enemy. You know what I mean? Like, you know why I don't have the body I had when I was 18? Because I'm not fucking 18, and that is okay. I have the body of a 29-year-old because I'm 29, and this 29-year-old body gets me to work every day. It tells me when I'm in danger. It tells me when I'm thirsty. It tells me when I'm hungry. It tells me to listen to my gut. It tells me when I'm loved. It tells me to go to sleep. It tells me to dance when I'm happy at parties. I love this body, and I will not let anybody tell me to be smaller in any way, you know? So what's the point here? My point is that Taylor Swift took control of her narrative and she made a movie about being Taylor Swift, and that's that shit that I do like, okay? So everybody is hard on themselves in one way or another. Let's be kinder to one another. And I won't apologize for my Kevin Jonas jokes. Okay, guys, so we'll be back after this break. Okay, before we get into it, before the show started, you know, Molly Ryder Producer, she gets on the chat, she buckles up, you know, she's like, let's fucking do this. I also want you to know that the whole time I asked her, like, what are they saying? She goes, everybody's laughing. She goes, oh my God, so this girl, Sabrina, she says that she recommended you to her therapist. And I was like, you talk about me in therapy? That's my fucking dream. Like, you know, like sometimes Molly will come back from a therapy appointment and I'm like, where were you? She's like, therapy. And in my head, I'm like, don't say it. Do you talk about me? So Sabrina, dreams really do come true. Okay, guys, so Also, if she watches the show, she might think that you need more therapy. Okay, so Wendy Williams didn't fart, okay? Okay, so before we get into it, let's watch this clip.
Locker room thing. That cop wasn't playing that. I mean, you're lucky you only got...
You know, when Wendy started burping during her show, I was like, wow, what a free bird. You know what I mean? That bitch really does what she wants. And you know, and I will say, side note, Michelle Perducci thinks that she planted that fart for viewsies. And I don't know. No, I know that's genius. So I know that's genius. But anyway, so when she first started burping on set, I was like, wow, imagine being that free, you know? And then she went on her show and she was like, no, I didn't fart. And you know what? That's exactly what I would say if I farted. You fucking assholes. I told them specifically, if you audio me farting, I will freaking lose it. You know, the name on my show does not mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I don't run this shit at all. You know who runs this show? If this show is Earth, then Julie is God. Okay, so whatever. If God is a DJ, guys. The exorcism of Julianne Hough. So Julianne Hough was at a World Economic Forum. Just let that sink in. A World Economic Forum, okay? In Switzerland. So apparently she went with this guy, Dr. John Amaral. I don't think that he's Latino, but I have to say Amaral. There he is. So he is this energy practitioner. And it makes me want to say, like, I too have certificates from the internet, but whatever. So he's actually featured in Gwyneth Paltrow's new Goop show, right? And he's touring with Oprah, and this is the thing. I read about him. When I first read it, I'm like, oh, this guy is like what a bunch of baloney, you know? But then I read like the Oprah stamp, and I'm like, well, maybe he's legit. But then I think, well, Oprah, you gave the world Dr. Phil, so I don't know. Have you seen his house? That man's a lunatic, you know? But I don't know, like, I don't know how to feel, whatever. So anyway, so Dr. John Amaral gave Julianne this, like, energy treatment, and we have a clip.
Relief, release, freedom. Expression of emotion may happen when the system moves, when energy that was stored or bound up in the muscles begins to dissipate. And if we're
it maketh me uncomfortable. Guys, someone needs to check on Julianne. And if this is what happens in Switzerland, sign me up, because I don't call a guy back if he doesn't give me an energy treatment. Like, so Dr. John, obviously watching that, you're like, what the fuck is he doing, you know? So he explains the process in another quote, and we quoted it. When energy was stored and bound up in the muscles, it gets to dissipate, and we really feel free to express and allow energy that's been bound in our bodies and move through blah, 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 blee, blah, bloop, bloop, like Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. Like, absolutely not. That was an orgasm he pulled out of her butthole. And we all know it. And you know what? When we were doing a tech rehearsal, Molly accidentally he pulled out her butthole in the prompter. And I think I like that better. Listen, I thought that he stuck his finger in her ass and like, come on, you saw it, I saw it, we all saw it. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Julianne, you know? Like, that is not energy leaving. That's like her getting a thumb in the butt, like Future said. And that noise is when you're having sex with somebody and he tries to put the finger in the butt and you're like, ah, whoa, whoa. Whoa there, Lewis and Clark. Let's stay on the home front. Okay, a little explorer. There's a Sacagawea joke in there somewhere, but I just can't get to it. Okay, so Dr. John says that people don't usually scream like this, all right? Like it's it's supposed to be like pain leaving the body, whatever. Like Gwyneth Paltrow says that she like cries, whatever. But of course, Julianne went cat in heat mode. Of course she did, because she's a dancer. She's a performer. She's an artiste. The world is but a stage, and her butthole the performer. So, also from a sales point of view, I'm going to say that if I saw this video, I would decline that Groupon. That would not be for moi. So I'd be like, Julianne, this is not the performance you put on backstage. You look a little bit like a fish flopping on a pier, you know? When the mouth is like this, you know? And then it gets tired, whatever. Anyway, so he pulled out her butthole. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, but either way, whether it's real or dramatic flair, I mean, I love my witchy shit. I love my energy healing shit. But the man put the thumb in the butthole. That's a phalange meets sphincter. You know what I mean? But I think people do release energy in a lot of different ways. Like, for example, when I go to yoga class twice a year and I do hip flexor stuff, like, you know, like every yogi will tell you, like, the feelings are stored in the hips, and I do hip openers. Like, I feel like this immense sense of calm, like a real release, you know? That sounds like I pee my pants. But I feel like I know other people that when they do energy releasing stuff, they start to feel really angry, like they store a lot of anger, whatever. And I think it's clear, this is just my opinion. Okay? I think it's clear she's releasing a lot of sexual energy. Okay? And that makes me think, Julie Hough, not graphic designing, Julie, are you perhaps in your body storing the gay? And it's coming out on Dr. Amaral? You know what I'm saying? A lot of sexual energy, huh? So, check Friday orgasm talk. Let's get into the tip right after this. You know, I had to do something I've never done before. I never have my phone on me during shows. And I have learned that my 67-year-old boyfriend is in the chat telling people that I fart in my sleep. And you know what I have to say to that? I don't have control over that. I'm asleep. I didn't know. You think I would do that if I knew? This is what the fuck is wrong with you? We have a daughter. What the fuck? Oh, should I even do the tip? Yeah. Okay. So, guys, we've reached my favorite part of the show where Jason leaves the chat and I can talk to you. I call this Tefi's tip. Just the tip. Delicious. Okay, guys, so I want to say, so we talked about bodies earlier. And I didn't want to make it like this general swoop, you know, because I think when people talk about, you know, Molly is to my right and she's laughing at the chat, and I can't even let my imagination wander as to what people are talking about right now. Anyway, so, God damn it. I think that so I never want to speak like generally about health and bodies, right? Because I think that's like, I think that's irresponsible, and I think it's tacky, it's boring, and it's very, very 1774, you know, and we're in 2020. But I want to say this. If you feel like your body is telling you need to rest, stay home, eat some greens, you know what I mean? Drink some water, and you're letting FOMO, the fear of missing out, Mom, if you're listening, that's what that means. If FOMO is like kind of forcing you out, you don't want to miss anything, don't let FOMO fuck you up. Stay home, Watch Cheer on Netflix so we can talk about it and relax. There will be many, many parties. If the guy really likes you, he'll see you next weekend or he'll come over and hang out. You know what I mean? Take care of yourselves, okay? And block Jason from the chat. Okay. All right, guys, that's our show. Have a great weekend. I will see you Monday. Get out here, get.